What's up, everybody? It's Mohammed Ismail, and let's talk about something a lot of you have been asking about: investing in Canadian real estate. Look, I get it. Canada's got a reputation, stable economy, beautiful cities, maple syrup. But how does that translate into real returns for real estate investors? Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this video is your guide to navigating the Canadian real estate market. We're breaking down why Canada is a hot market, the different ways you can invest, the taxes you need to know about, and how to actually make money in this market. So grab your Tim Hortons, get comfortable, and let's dive right in. First things first, why are we even talking about Canada? Well, it's simple. Canada consistently ranks as one of the most stable and profitable real estate markets globally. Think about it. A strong economy, a stable political system, and a high standard of living. These are all huge green flags for investors. And it's not just about feeling safe and secure, it's about the numbers. Cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Calgary are absolute powerhouses when it comes to real estate. We're talking high returns, consistent population growth fueling demand, and a rental market that's absolutely booming. Now I know what you're thinking. Graham, those cities are expensive. And yeah, you're not wrong. Affordability is a hot topic in Canada, especially in those big cities. But even with higher prices, the potential for long-term growth and solid cash flow is definitely there. So, yeah, Canada is definitely a market worth considering. Interested in Canadian real estate? What does that mean? The market offers diverse investment opportunities. First, residential properties, detached homes, townhouses, condos, great for rental income. Then, pre-construction condos, popular in hot markets like Toronto and Vancouver. Or consider commercial real estate, office buildings, retail spaces, industrial properties. Bottom line, there's something for everyone. Hands-on or passive, the market has options. All right, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the moose in the room. Is 2025 a good time to invest in Canadian real estate? Well, like with any investment, there's no crystal ball. But here's the deal. Interest rates seem to be stabilizing after the craziness of the past few years, and the demand for housing in Canada is still ridiculously high. So, from a purely financial standpoint, 2025 could be a fantastic opportunity to jump into the market. However, affordability is a major concern. Even though interest rates are stabilizing, they're still higher than they were a few years ago, which impacts how much people can borrow. If you're strategic, do your due diligence, and are ready to play the long game, there's definitely potential for profit in the Canadian real estate market in 2025. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite subject, taxes. I know, it's not the most exciting part of real estate investing, but it's absolutely crucial, especially in Canada. First off, if you're a Canadian resident, you're already familiar with the tax system, but for those of you tuning in from outside Canada, there are some specific rules you need to understand. One of the big ones is the foreign buyer's tax. Some provinces like Ontario and British Columbia have implemented this tax specifically for non-resident buyers. It's basically an extra charge on top of the regular purchase price, and it can be a significant chunk of change. Then there's the vacant home tax. This one applies in certain cities like Vancouver, and it's designed to discourage people from leaving properties empty. The idea is to incentivize owners to either live in their properties or rent them out, which helps with housing affordability. The key takeaway here is to do your research, understand the specific tax implications for your situation, and consult with a qualified tax professional. Chapter 5. Rental income turning Canadian bricks into cash. Now let's get to the good stuff, making money. One of the biggest draws of Canadian real estate is the potential for strong rental income. Canada has a constantly growing population with tons of newcomers and students moving to the bigger cities every year. And guess what? They all need a place to live. This high demand for rentals, combined with a limited supply of available units, creates a landlord-friendly market. Depending on the location and type of property, you can expect to earn a solid rental yield, often between 4 and 7%. With the right property and a solid strategy, rental income can be a fantastic way to generate passive income, build long-term wealth, and achieve financial freedom. Chapter 6. The risks. Don't be naive. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. No investment is completely risk-free, and Canadian real estate is no exception. Before you throw all your money into the market, there are a few potential risks to be aware of. First and foremost, market overvaluation. We've seen it time and time again. Markets get hot, prices skyrocket, and then, boom, the bubble bursts. While Canada has a relatively stable market, it's not immune to these cycles. Interest rate hikes are another risk factor. Even though rates seem to be stabilizing now, there's always the possibility that they could go up again in the future. This could impact affordability, making it harder for people to buy homes, which could potentially lead to a slowdown in the market. And then there are the unexpected costs that come with owning any property, whether it's a leaky roof, a busted pipe, or a tenant who decides to turn your rental property into a slip-and-slide park. Chapter 7. So you want to be a Canadian real estate tycoon? Alright, so we've covered a lot of ground from why Canada is a hot market to the potential risks. Now let's wrap up with some final tips for investing in Canadian real estate. First, knowledge is power. Do your research, build a trusted local team, invest with a long-term mindset. Be informed, prepared, and committed to the long game to achieve your goals. So, there you have it, your crash course in Canadian real estate investing. I hope this video has given you a better understanding of this exciting market and maybe even inspired you to take the leap yourself. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more real estate insights and financial tips. And hey, if you're serious about investing in Canada, drop a comment below or reach out to me through my website. I'm genuinely passionate about helping people achieve financial freedom through real estate, and I'd love to connect with you and answer any questions you might have.